Hey guys, this is Adrian with another release for Avo. We're gonna release 2.8 and it's a big one. It's a big release. So let's get into it. So we have a few features, bug fixes, some refactorings, and a big feature, but we'll talk about that in just a second. So the first one, custom blank text on select filter. Thank you so much, Paul. You're very nice, very top contributor. So what do we get? What do we have here? So for some filters, we didn't really add any placeholder values, and this PR adds that. So you can use the empty text, empty value. I think it's empty something. Empty message. The empty message option, so you can set that placeholder for the filter in case nothing is selected. Next is add the ability to run an action silently. This is really cool. So when you're running, let's see, silent. Am I using it somewhere? Okay, so toggle inactive. I'm gonna jump into my app. Where is it? I think users. Let's go into a user. And then toggle inactive. So if I don't use the silent one, so toggle inactive, I'll run it and you get this message. You can change that message to a success or fail or warning message, but you usually couldn't turn that off. So, but now with silent, you can do that. So when I'm going to run this action, run, it's not going to display that message. So if you want to redirect somewhere or just not show any message at the end, you can do that using the silent option. Coolio. Add resource model in action visibility. This was actually a little bit of a refactor. We just changed the order. So let's see in an action, whenever you had like self-visible. Before, the resource wasn't hydrated, so you wouldn't be able to see which model it would be applied to, but now it's going to be hydrated and have the views and params and everything you need, so you can make better choices when toggling an action visible or not. Allowed to put singular name on has fields. Thank you so much, Paul. This was amazing. So what happened was the has many and belongs to many associations didn't allow to have this name as a singular name, so you couldn't say post if you wanted to. This would get pluralized, but sometimes it does make sense to have this a singularized name. Next, add a link to if to an external image field. So where is it? So on posts, I'm just gonna jump into the posts really quick. And now this, let me do this. So this cover photo is actually an external image field. So we should pull this from a CDN somewhere in production. If you added link to resource to it, so post resource, where is it? Cover photo. So if you add link to resource, this wouldn't really work. It didn't have that, but this PR adds it. Thank you so much, Taras. Thank you. So expose global param in search. Let's see if I use this somewhere. Global. Okay, I haven't used it, but what happens is when you're doing the search query, maybe you want to do a different search query when it's going to be a global search for every resource and different for the resource search, right? So you can now do if params of global and else, and you can do something here and something else here. So maybe when you're doing global, you don't want to search by body or something. This just makes it a little bit easier to tackle that scenario. Cool. Next, let's go to the bug fixes. So sidebar menu collapse state. I can show you this in Avo demo. always go to Avo demo if you want to see what Avo can do, and you can check the source code and everything to to take out some snippets from here and use them in your apps. So what happens is, like, if you have, usually whenever you collapse or expand an item, no matter how it was by default, it should respect your browser's setting. So if you see people, it's expanded by default, but then it's going to be collapsed by the browser. Well, if you did the same thing to an item that was collapsed by default, it's not going to respect that. So other is not open here. But now we fixed this, so this will be closed, this will be open, and now if I refresh, it's going to stay open. If I close it, it's going to stay closed. So that's a nice fix. Search is broken for uncountable resources. Same thing. So fish, this is why this resource is here, because it's uncountable. And before it was searched on fish index, but now searches on fish. So it's all good. It works perfectly. Show proper breadcrumbs on associated create view. This was nothing very what do you call it? It wasn't a very big fix, but so when you do a create new comment, you wouldn't get this projects tam here. But let's try this. So projects. Let's go into a project and add new comment. It wouldn't show the parent project in the breadcrumbs, but now it's visible. Translation keys for resources and fields. This was an issue where some translation fields were not present at some points. That's fixed now. Remove max limit from tags field. Thank you, John, another top contributor. But I don't know why, but whenever, let's go to a course, I think. Where is it? Courses. Yeah, by some reason, the tags field had a limit to 10 tags, and you couldn't add any more. Now that's fixed. So thank you, John. So fixed rotation of move to top button. So thank you so much, John. Another good contribution. So course links, resource, we're using ordering here. So courses, let's jump into a course. I think it's just on course links. Okay, yeah. So on Safari, I think this one was upside down because the transformation wasn't applied to the right SVG element, but now it's fixed, so it looks very well, very nice. Thank you so much, John. Refactoring. We have some refactorings to the logo partial. So now, whenever, let me just make this smaller. When you're on mobile, you can do something like this. You can provide 2 items in your logo partial. So I'll go into logo, HTML, and you can have 2 logo files, file assets, and one is hidden by default, and then it's displayed on bigger ones, and this one is hidden on bigger ones and displayed by default. So you can do things like this and have 2 types of logos displayed depending on the size of the screen. Enable range in all cards. So now all cards should have the range selector, and you can use that inside your logic. And also, like the custom card, the partial card, you can do that as well. This is just some cleanup. Move some field logic to concerns. Move some cards to their own controllers. And now, thank you so much, Andrea. She pointed out that we have some gendered language in our README, and she removed it. Thank you so much. We also had a look on all our documentation, so we don't have that present. So it's we want to make this community as inclusive as possible. Thank you so much. Oh, sorry. There's one more thing. There's another feature. So we have the StimulusJS and HTML attributes. This is a feature that allows you to add StimulusJS to your CRUD to Avo's CRUD interface, so you can do things like this. Like you have a different a country select and a city select, and when you select a country, the cities from that country are present in the next select. Oh, let me just show you. So it's on the course. Let's go and edit the course. So we have Spain, and we have Madrid, Valencia, and Barcelona, and then we move to Japan, and this changes Tokyo, Osaka, and so on. Thailand, it does. So everything changes based on the country select. So you can do things like this. You can do toggle actions. You can do, actually you can do whatever you want. We just enable stimulus on your on all the CRUD screens. I have a separate video on that, going in depth with everything that's in the docs, so please check that out. It will be linked in the description. We hope you love this release. It's a big one. Next, what are we doing next? We are going to focus a little bit on tabs. So you have the tabs feature. We presented a little preview on Twitter and on our Discord server, so go check it out and how they work. They are enabled by Hotwire. I don't have any screenshots here. And then so tabs is a big one. We also have resource cards that will allow you to have cards just like you have on dashboard. So you'll have cards like these present on the resource page. So you can do it on maybe on a course show, course edit, or like course index, and you'd have cards here showing different stats about the resource you are on. What else? So we started working on plugins. This is so early on, and then we started a PR on live resources. Again, we need some help here, so if you want to help, please come and check these out. We're also looking for funding, so if you want to sponsor the project and be featured on our homepage, or if you need like extra help, we can provide that. Just drop us an email or a message on Twitter, and go and tell everybody about Avo and how it helps you deliver apps much faster. Thank you guys. I hope you like this release, and see you in the next one.